Welcome back to the QST YouTube channel. Today we'll be solving the term 1 week 4 math CA quiz. Let's go. Given that x is greater than 0 and y is greater than 0, which of the following is equivalent to the given expression? For radical 4xy cubed plus 16x squared y squared. So for this question, first of all, we will need to factor out the part that will allow us to take it out of the radical. So let's say 4 will make it out of the radical as y squared would be y outside of the radical. So here we have 4 which we can take out. X we can't because there's only 4x, y, 1x, and there are at least 2 y's in each. So 4y squared times xy plus 4x squared. So what I'm doing here is just factoring out. So after we take the 4y out of the radical, 4y squared out of the radical, it will be 2y root xy plus 4x squared. xy plus 4x squared. Okay, number 2. Which of the following is the result of subtracting g from f? So if we subtract g from f, it's basically we're doing f minus g. So we're gonna do this exactly like how I did it. 2x cubed minus 3x squared plus 2x, all of this minus x squared minus x plus 2. So now we distribute the minus. 2x cubed minus 3x squared plus 2x minus x squared plus x minus 2. I'm gonna write the answers up. So 2x cubed stays as it is since there are no like terms. 2x cubed, x squared, negative 3x squared minus x squared will give us negative 4x squared. 2x cubed minus 4x squared. 2x plus x is 3x plus 3x. What's left is minus 2. So this is the final answer. Number 3. The coefficient of x squared in the expansion of 2 minus x to the power of 7 is... Okay, now look, we're gonna need to find the x squared, as they said. So 7ck a to the n minus k, which is 2 to the power of 7 minus k, times negative x to the power of k. Since they want here the coefficient, or they want the power of x to be 2x squared, so k is 2, 7c2, 2 to the power of 5, we just substitute k by 2, times negative x squared. Let's just remove the sign because it doesn't really matter. So we're gonna do on the calculator 7 shift divide, wait, 7 shift divide 2 times 2 to the power of 5 times x squared, which is a variable, so we don't really need. So 672. Okay, so now let's solve part B. The coefficient of x cubed in the expansion of 2 minus x. So we do the same thing. 7ck 2 to the power of 7 minus k negative x to the power of k. Since here they want x to the b to the power of 3, so k is 3. So 7c3 2 to the power of 4 times negative x cubed. Now here the sign will stay, since the power of negative x is odd. So 7 shift divide 3 times 2 to the power of 4 times negative x cubed will give you negative 560 x cubed. Okay, so for part C, I'm gonna split it into two like different parts. 3x times 2 minus x to the power of 7 generate 2, just give me a sec. 3x times 2 minus x to the power of 7 plus 1 and then 2 minus x to the power of 7. This is because we distribute like this, right? Not like this. So you distribute a and b, which is 3x and 1, to c, which is 2x, 2 minus x to the power of 7. So we basically put it twice, and since in this case it's 3x plus 1, we add them together. 2 minus x to the power of 7. Now, as I said, they want x to be to the power of 3. So now let's start here. 7ck, wait, just gonna write it up. 3x, okay, first let's find k. Okay, so now to get x cubed, right, we already have an x here, right? And then x is to the power of k, which is what we're trying to find. So okay, no, it's not gonna work like that. So k will be 2. You get what I mean? Like, basically, let's say we have 3x times x to the power of what? Let's say k. Okay, to get x cubed, to get like x cubed times something. How will we get that? We'll get that if k is 2. Okay, same here, we'll do the same thing. So yeah, 3x to the power of how much? 3x times x to the power of how much will give you x cubed? 3x times x squared. So now let me write the equation. 3x 7ck 2 to the power of 7 minus k negative x to the k, right? Okay, as I said, we will need x to be squared. So how will we get x squared? or negative x squared, anything. Like, how will we get x to the power of 2, like this x? We'll just make k 2, that's it. So k is 2 now. So give me a second. So 3x times 7c2 times 2 to the power of 5 times negative x squared plus, we'll do the same thing on the other side. But in this case, since it's not x, like as we can see, it's only 1, k will be 3, because what's it called? We only have 1x here, right? So we'll need it to be 7c3. So wait, let me put all of this in 1. 1 times 7c3. Okay, let me make a bigger one. Times 2 to the power of 7 minus 3, which is 4, times negative x cube. Okay, now let's simplify. We will get 7c2 times 7c2 times 2 to the power of 5 times 3 will give us 2016x on this side. The negative cancels because the power here is even. So 2016 x cube plus 7c3 times 2 to the power of 4 times negative x cube. So the power will stay. So it will be 2016 x cube plus negative 560 x cube. Simplify, so you just do 2016 minus 560. 2016 minus 560, which will give us 1456. That was a long question, guys. Okay. Solve the given equation when a is equal to 3. First, let's get rid of the radical by squaring both sides of the equation. So negative 2a minus x is equal to 3a minus 1 squared, which is 9a squared minus 6a plus 1. So negative x will take negative 2a to the other side. So negative x will be equal to 9a squared minus 4a plus 1. Let's just multiply by negative 1 on both sides to make it just x. So x is equal to negative 9a squared plus 4a minus 1. Now they want when a is equal to 3. So negative 9 times 3 squared plus 4 times 3 plus 1, minus 1, sorry, which will give us negative 70. Number 5. Fill in the blanks with the correct integers or decimals. Expanding 1 minus 4x to the power of 1 over 2. Okay, now look, for the first term, when the n or the power is rational, the first term is always 1. Okay? And the second term will always be b times the power. So negative 4 times 1 over 2, which is negative 2, right here. And now for the rest, that's where the easiness ends. Now for here, in this case, we're going in chronological order. So in this case, k is 2. So 1 over 2 c2, okay, 1 to the 1 doesn't matter, we're just gonna do it times negative 4 x the whole thing squared. And now to find 1 over 2 c2, what we're gonna do is 1 over 2 all of this over 2 factorial, or 2. I was saying for this question, we're gonna do like for when k is 2, we're gonna do 1 over 2 times 1 over 2 minus 1 over 2 factorial, which is 2, so it doesn't really matter. So, and then all of this times negative 4 squared, which is 16. And that will give us also negative 2. Now for the next part, okay, how are we gonna do this? So for the next part, again, and like it's the same thing, but in this case k is 3, so 1 over 2 c3, just b to the k, so negative 4x cubed. And then we're gonna make this fraction, so 1 over 2 times 1 over 2 minus 1 over 1, times 1 over 2 minus 2, all of that over 3 factorial, which is 6. And then this entire fraction times negative 4x cubed. Negative 4x cubed. Which will give us negative 4, which will give us like negative 4x cubed. Times, I'm just gonna make sure, negative 4 cubed. Yeah, it will give us negative 4. Okay, now for this part, this is where the tough part, like this is where we need to like focus a bit. It's kind of new. To be, they're asking by substituting x is equal to 10 to the negative 2 in the expansion obtained in part A to significant figures. Okay, so all we're gonna do, like before we do anything, is substitute 10 to the negative 2 in this part. This will give us 0.979796. 0.979796. And then try actually doing radical 96. It will give you something similar, 9.79, so on. Now, how do we go from this to this? They just moved one decimal place, which is multiplying by 10. So times 10, which will give us 9.79796. Number 6. expanding 1 over radical 9 plus x squared in ascending power. We'll give this. Okay. First of all, let's like take like this one up. So it will be 9 plus x squared, all of this to the power of negative half. Now look, to what's it called? To start the what's it called? Binomial theorem when n is rational, we're gonna have to make a 1. So that will give us 1 over 3, right? Because when we take 9 out, we're gonna have to make 9 to the power of negative 1 over 2. So 9 to the power of negative 1 over 2 will give us 1 over 3. So 1 over 3 times 1 plus x squared to the power of negative half. Okay, now if we're gonna do the binomial theorem, so let's say k is 0, this whole thing will be 1. So 1 over 3 times 1 will give us 1 over 3. Now when what's it called? When k is 1, okay, 1 over 3, 1 plus x squared to the power of negative half. Okay, anyways, so for part B, the values of x for which the expansion above is equal to radical 9 plus x squared are between negative 3 and 3. At this point, I'm just gonna do 9 is equal to x squared, then x is gonna be 3 and negative 3, and then it's just gonna be between. That's what I'm gonna do in the exam. If it's wrong, just blame it on me. Part C, using the expansion obtained in part A, as far as the term an approximate value of radical 1 over 10 to 4 decimal places. Okay, so the approximate value, first let's like figure out how we're gonna get radical 1 over 10 in the first place. To get radical 1 over 10, we're gonna have to make this equal to 10, right? So we're gonna have to substitute x by 1. So when we substitute x by 1, we're gonna do 1 over 3 minus 1 over 54 plus 1 over 648. You get 0.3164. In absolute value, the difference between the calculator value, the 4 decimal places, and the approximate value is, so we're gonna do 1 over radical 10, which is radical 1 over 10, it's the same thing, minus the answer we got. Which will approximately give us 0.0002. Like, since they want the absolute value, it is gonna be 0.0002. Because in the calculator they'll give it negative, but after it will be positive. So for this one, we will just need to use the calculator. So summation of x is equal to 1 to 20, and then just substitute k by x in this case. 2x squared minus 3x plus 2, which will give us 5150. Number 8. What is the coefficient of x to the 5 term in the expansion? Now look, so for this question, 7ck 2x to the power of 7 minus k times 1 over 4 to the power of k. 1 over 4 to the power of k. So 7 minus k is equal to 5, right? Since we want the power of x to be 5. 7 minus k is 5, so k is 2. So 7c2 2x to the 5 times 1 over 4 squared, which is 1 over 60. 7c2 times 2 to the 5 times 1 over 16, which will give us 42. Number 9. The third term in ascending powers of x in the expansion of... So look, again, I'm gonna say it. So the term is ready, k is equal to the term minus 1. K is equal to the term minus 1. So here they want the third term, so k is equal to 2. So 5c2 1 to the power of 3, which is nothing, 1, times 4x squared. So 5c2 times 16 basically, which is 160x squared after we distribute the square. Number 10. Which of the following, which is the coefficient of the 1 over x to the 4 in the expansion? First, let's write it. 12ck x to the power of 12 minus k times x to the power of negative k after we take it up from the denominator. So 12 minus 2k is equal to negative 4. So k is equal to 8. So 12c8 x to the 4 times x to the negative 8. So just do 12c8 since the coefficient of x is 1 in this case. So 12c8, which is 495. Number 11. What is the constant term in the expression? So for this question, I'm gonna split it. So 12ck again, two x to the power of 12 minus k and we're gonna split the 1 over 2, like get negative 1 over 2 and x 1 over x times negative 2 to the power of negative k times x to the power of negative k as well, since we took it out of the denominator. Now for the constant term, after combining, the power should be equal to 0. So 12 minus 2k is 0, k is 6. So 12c6 2x to the power of 6 times negative 2 to the power of negative 6. So this and this cancel, the power just goes, and since it's opposite powers, it just goes. So 12c6 is 924. Okay, so for this question, I'm gonna be splitting like this into 2 parts. So x plus 4 over 1 minus x squared, 1 minus x, all of that squared, plus, well, not x plus 4, my bad. Let's split it into x and 4, plus 4 over 1 minus x squared, which is basically, look, since we have here x, it's just gonna be, let's say, x times 1 plus 2x plus 2x cubed, plus 3x squared plus 4x cubed. And the same thing for 4. So 4, and then 1 plus 2x plus 3x squared plus 4x cubed. Now we're just gonna distribute. Now look, for this, it's a rule to be remembered. Like when it's 1 minus x, all of it squared, this is what it is. And then you keep going to infinity. So it's gonna be x plus 2x squared plus 3x cubed plus 4 plus, since I didn't simplify this because they wanted till x cubed, not x to the power of 4. So again, we distribute 4 plus 8x plus 12x squared plus 4 plus 16x cubed. That will give us 4 plus x is x plus 8x is 9x plus 2x squared plus 12x squared is 14x squared. 14x squared. Then 3x cubed plus 16x cubed is 19x cubed. Number 13. If y is equal to radical 5x over 6th root of x, then, okay, first it's gonna be radical 5. We're gonna split it times radical x, all of that over 6th root of x. Now 6th root of x in the denominator is negative 1 over 6 x, and then this is 1 over 2x, so x to the power of 1 over 2. So we're gonna minus, since one's in the numerator, one's in the denominator. So 1 over 2 minus 1 over 6. Wait, that's equal to, let me just do it on the calculator. 1 over 2 minus 1 over 6 is 1 over 3. So it's radical 5 times x to the power of 1 over 3, basically. Then we're gonna do the derivative, since they're asking for y prime. So it's gonna be radical 5 times 1 over 3 times x to the power of negative 2 over 3, which is equal to radical 5 over 3 cube root of x squared. Number 14. If summation, this one you just do 10 times 20, that's it. Number, why is it? What is the value of 2 summation to 100? You do 2 times 100, which is 200. Number 16. What is the value of summation of I times 2i plus 1? So you just distribute it. So summation of 1 through 4, 2i squared plus I. 1, 4, 2i squared plus I, which is 70. Number 17. For this one, all you're gonna do is P plus Q minus R. So 25 plus 30 minus 10, which is 45. Number 18. Fill in the blanks with the correct numbers. So here they want the derivative of x to the power of 16. Now the derivative, let's say we have y is equal to nx, not nx, x to the power of n. So y prime would be equal to nx, and x is to the power of n minus 1. So here in this case it's x to the power of 16, so that means it's gonna be 16x to the power of 50. Number 19. If y is equal to 4th root of x to the 7, what is the value of the derivative when x is equal to 16? Now here, in cases like this, we're gonna have to turn it into x to the power of n. Now here we're gonna do the degree, which is the power, over the index of the root, which is 4. So it's gonna be x to the power of 7 over 4, which is equal to y. And then we derive. So y prime is equal to 7 over 4 times I mean, yeah, 7 over 4 times x to the power of 7 over 4 minus 1, which is 3 over 4. And then we're just gonna substitute x by 16 on the calculator. So 7 over 4 times 16 to the power of 3 over 4, which is 14. Number 20. If y is equal to 10x to the power of 25, then y prime is equal to. Okay, so here we're gonna do 10 to the power times x to the power of 25. So it's gonna be 10 times 25 times x to the power of n minus 1, which is 25 minus 1, which is 24, which is 250 x to the 24. Number 21, which is the last and final question, the easiest question of the entire quiz. The value of the derivative of y equals to negative 12. So the derivative of any value which is a constant is 0. Thank you guys so much for watching this video. We wish you guys the best of luck in all of your exams, and that's it. Goodbye.